A nebula is an interstellar cloud of dust, hydrogen, helium, and other ionized gases. Originally, nebula was a name for any diffuse astronomical object including galaxies beyond the Milky Way. This stage lasts 15,000 years depending on each nebula. 90% hydrogen and 10% helium is what it's made out of, as well as 0.01% heavy elements like carbon, nitrogen, magnesium, potassium, and iron. Gravity causes the nebula to contract/shrink. As matter collapses, the nebula spins like a disk. The bright white spot in the middle eventually becomes a protostar. A protostar is a very young star that is still gathering mass from its parent molecular cloud. The protostellar phase is the earliest in the process of stellar evolution. For a one solar mass star, it lasts about 100,000 years to 1 million years. The protostar heats up due to loose gas falling into its center, which releases the kinetic energy in the form of heat, and the temperature and pressure goes up. To become a main sequence star, it needs to get up to 10 million K. The main sequence star stage lasts about 10 billion years. Their energy is in the form of gamma rays, which is generated solely in the nuclear burning core, which is transferred towards the surface. This stage stays stable due to the hydrostatic equilibrium that exists at each point within the star. They convert hydrogen into helium by nuclear fusion. Main sequence stars are converting hydrogen into helium by nuclear fusion. The future is releasing more energy during helium burning than at the main sequence stage, so the star is bigger but less stable. The giant/supergiant star stage lasts 10 to 15 million years. It's a type of nuclear fusion with elements such as helium. The star expands due to high temperature and higher pressure. The stage ends when the star has burnt out all of its helium. A planetary nebula is a ring-shaped nebula formed by an expanding shell of gas around an aging star. It lasts 10 to 1,000 years. Carbon ash keeps it from fusing to make helium, therefore it is too cold to be able to provide fusion.
A white dwarf is a dead star and very dense. Its faint luminosity comes from the emission of stored thermal energy, and no fusion takes place in a white dwarf star, wherein mass is converted to energy. Because the length of time it takes for a white dwarf to reach this state is calculated to be longer than the current age of the universe. The oldest white dwarfs still radiate at temperatures of a few thousand kelvins, which is why they still glow. It is thought that no black dwarfs yet exist. A black dwarf is a white dwarf that has cooled down to the temperature of the cosmic microwave background, and so is invisible. Unlike red dwarfs, brown dwarfs, and white dwarfs, black dwarfs are entirely hypothetical. But sometimes the red giant is a red supergiant, and when this happens, something else occurs. While a nova is an explosion from the surface of a white dwarf star in a binary star system, a supernova is when extremely massive supergiants generate high enough pressure and temperature to fuse elements heavier than carbon and oxygen. Near the end of the red supergiant phase, a high-mass star will develop several onion layers of heavier and heavier elements. Eventually, the stars this massive die explosive deaths and become Type II supernovae. Supernovas create fusion reactions that create the elements silicon, sulfur, chlorine, argon, sodium, potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, and iron peak elements. These are called primary elements, and that they can be fused from pure hydrogen and helium in massive stars. At the end, there is a wind of charged particles that emanated long ago from the dying star. The material was shed by the star thousands to millions of years before it went supernova, and the shock of the explosion is overtaking all the previously ejected particles. When giant stars die in supernovae and their cores collapse, neutron stars are created. The protons and electrons essentially melt into each other to form neutrons. One teaspoon of a neutron star material weighs 6 billion tons. The pressure in the star's core is so high that most of the charged particles, electrons and protons, merge, resulting in a star composed mostly of uncharged particles called neutrons. In addition, it does not have any fusion because the neutron star is at the end phase of a massive star after it's basically run out of things to fuse.